I am Helen Hunt. I am going through this song, chasing the dream of the tornado. But every once in a while, I'm in the calm, and that's how this song feels to me. And I will not explain further. Okay?
So why don't we take a break so that I can go cry in a corner?
I can kind of see it. I just went back and listened to it a little bit while you were talking. I was listening to what you were saying while I was listening to the song, so I was multitasking the Steely Dan way.
What is Steely Dan?
Are you talking all the tunes? Talking about the tunes? Are we gonna put your ears? And then we'll talk about the tunes. Are you talking all the tunes? Talking about the tunes. Are we gonna put your ears and talk about the tunes?
We're back, Jack, and we're gonna do it again. Welcome to Talking Tunes with these few goons. Oh man, joined as ever by my dear friend Alex Kramer.
Oh, Steel!
And also our another dear friend Vanessa St. Clair.
Damn. Just okay.
And of course, well, and this month we did a silent auction to have a guest host, a guest goon, if you will, for this episode. And we have Greg Gelati joining us.
Smooth.
Oh. Very smooth.
Yeah.
So, Greg, let's just sort of like jump into it. Why don't you introduce the album that you asked us to talk about, and then get into the bit of Wikipedia.
Okay. So, background. I listen to a lot of music at work, and when I'm listening to the music, I run out. So I had to keep going through more and more and more, and I ran out of the music I like, so I started listening to music that I thought I wouldn't like mid-period Bob Dylan. That's like Shot of Love and Knocked Out Loaded. And eventually I was like, I gotta try the Dan. People talk about the Dan all the time. And I ended up falling in love with the later Dan albums. Asia in particular, I just had it on repeat and repeat and repeat. So when this opportunity showed itself, I had to pick it. So that's what we're bringing to the table today. You probably saw it in the title. Is Steely Dan's, some would call it magnum opus, Asia.
Yes.
Yes.
So to set the table, I think we should go to the internet's most trusted source of information and talk about things you can read on Wikipedia. There we go. It's up right here. Asia, pronounced like Asia, is the sixth studio album by the American jazz rock band Steely Dan. It was released on September 23rd, 1977, the best year of rock and roll, by ABC Records, and was produced by Gary Katz. Recording alongside 40 musicians, band leaders Donald Fagen and Walter Becker pushed Steely Dan further into experimenting with different combinations of session players while pursuing longer, more sophisticated compositions for this album.
Yeah, so just real quick on my initial thoughts. I knew Steely Dan from the hits. Obviously recognized that they're incredible musicianship. Never heard any of the songs off of this album, and I know Peg was one of their bigger hits, I guess.
Yeah.
But I never heard it until now, and this album was amazing. To spoiler alert, I think it was a great listen. So I'm looking forward to everyone's thoughts on it. So go ahead, Alex. What are your thoughts, real quick?
Steely Dan was a band I've heard about later, maybe just a few years ago, And I never heard anyone like. Maybe I'm wrong here, but is like does Steely Dan get like a bad rap? Like, do people criticize Steely Dan a lot?
Yeah.
So like,
more for being like not cool.
yeah, like they get like that criticism. So I might have like heard that type of stuff, but they were always like a band I heard of. And then like spoiler alert, I'm not gonna say it until we talk about the song, but I used to take drum lessons. Never really committed to them, but at the same place my brother and dad took guitar lessons, and there would be like recitals. And actually, one of the songs on this album was a song they did for the recital. And so like when I heard it, I went like, "Oh my god!" Like that was the song I remember like seeing my brother play at a recital. And I remember like going to rehearsals for that thing, and then like seeing my drum teacher play the drums on it and thinking like, "Oh, that is such a cool beat." And the drumming on, I mean, all the musicianship on this is fantastic. Like some of the drumming on this just blew my mind. But back to what I think. But I didn't really know Steely Dan. I listened to their first 2 albums and actually really dug them. And that's what I think people should do instead of just nonchalantly just going like, yeah, that band sucks. Actually give them a shot. Because like I remember listening to Can't Buy Me a Thrill, and I immediately dug it. Like it was really just cool, like instrumental type of stuff. They take their time. They sing, but also they just get into a good jam groove type of thing, and I really dug it. So instead of just being like boo, actually give it a shot, and don't join the crowd in crapping on a band unless you actually listen to them. But
Go ahead, Vanessa. Vanessa.
Okay, so I grew up with a dad who played all old music for me, which made me the coolest kid at the VFW. But like, I just didn't relate to anything that any of my peers listened to, so I grew up listening to Steely Dan. But my first memory of the band was really this movie called American Hustle with Christian Bale. They played Dirty Work, and I remember they were walking. They like showed shoes while they were playing Dirty Work, and I was just like, "This is the coolest stuff I've ever heard in my life!" Like I was so obsessed with it. And then I listened to this. So I've never sat down and listened to an album, but I've just like had it in the repertoire. But I will say this. My partner Phil is absolutely devastated, almost dumped me because we are doing this album without him, and that is all for you, Greg, because he was like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe you were doing this without me." And also, I for the longest time thought this was pronounced "aha." I thought they were going for like a cool, like different thing. I was like, "Oh, aha, that's great!" And then
every song is them discovering a new idea.
And then your little blurb at the beginning from Wikipedia said Asia, and I said, "Wow, I'm gonna go kill myself. Thank you." So
wow,
I'm really
that bad.
excited.
What's going on out there in LA?
Oh, it's
you were
great.
depressed and Phil almost broke up with you. Wow.
Yeah, my whole life's fallen apart because of this show. But we're doing good, and we're excited to talk about this album. And upon actually listening to it, I'm really excited to talk about it, like in order and everything. So let's get to it.
Yes. Let's get to the first song, Black Cow.
Yeah.
Let me see here, because I'm not prepared. Okay. The thing actually I remember the most about this song is how many hip hop songs have sampled it, like Deja Vu, Uptown Baby by Lord Kweli and Peter Guns, and Gastrals by the late great FM Doom. Just to name 2. And I guess
it sounded like 18 names. That sounded like so many. I'm shocked that is 2 songs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But this song is about a guy, I guess, who's sick of their significant other who's being a straight up hot mess. So,
yeah.
And a black cow refers to an alcoholic root beer float, I guess.
That's like, imagine being called a black cow, though. Like, if you were in an argument and they were like, "You are such a black cow right now," I'd be like, Okay, that came out of nowhere. Like that would hurt more than if they like cussed me out. That feels like that feels deep.
That's
and this song is, after listening to this album, this is the song that's been stuck in my head the most for some reason, just because of the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote a really good hook with this chorus, like I can't cry anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't want to sing the whole chorus because I don't know if Donald Fagen's gonna like kick my butt or like sue me if I sing the whole chorus. You know, I don't know what Donald Fagen does. I don't know if he's like if he knows how to fight people or. I watched your podcast. But yeah, it's a really just catchy tune, and I could tell that like the little bit of research I did, like they are humongous jazz fans, like Walter and Donald. So this whole album, you can totally tell that they are kind of like giving an homage to their influences, and like really with this album, especially with like what Greg talked about in the beginning, that 40 musicians that went through this whole album, like trying to like perfect this sound. But just I could just totally tell like how much they just love the whole jazz genre. Oh my God. The whole jazz genre, just with this song in particular. But yeah, this is the song that got stuck in my head the most. Greg, what do you think of this song?
I'll try to keep it short. Love this song. I think that this song, one, sets up the album thematically in like a really nice way, because there's this thing about like Steely Dan, it's like smooth and like it feels like yacht rock, right? Mm-hmm. But all of their subjects are like drug dealers and sad men. It's like a John Updike novel. It's just that the whole way. And this is our first like couple sad people connected by drugs. And like that's kind of like dark and deep, and that's everywhere. And then the chorus is "Get your big black cow again." Like that's hilarious. This juxtaposition between like the serious thing, like "big black cow, get out." I find that type of humor just that's my button. I think that's hilarious. And like this feeling of like this loser, like middle-aged dude is also just like throughout this, like almost every song is about one of those types of characters except for maybe the last one. And I'm really excited for Deacon Blues because that's kind of like the apotheosis of that idea. That's a word I used to check if Jethro Nolan is watching, because he'll send me a DM about it. But like top to bottom, musicality, great. This sets up Chuck Rainey, who's on the bass. Mm-hmm. This whole album is based on his hard work. Like he lays it all out, and it's gorgeous. So
great start to the album. Don't think we could put it any more like that. Does anybody have any to say?
I can't add any more. I was going to say I love the juxtaposition of it being so sad and yet so grooving up.
Yeah.
And so we're on the same page. I think we can move on to Asia, as it's supposed
self-titled,
to be pronounced.
Go ahead, Vanessa. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I just love that they said the phrase "dude ranch." That was something they said in this song, and I'm here for it. I also I know that my descriptors of musical instruments are off, but this almost sounded like nautical to me. There were parts where I was like, this reminds me of The Little Mermaid, and I can't describe why. There was just a part that sounded like Sebastian was conducting it, and I was like, okay, we're doing it. Okay, this is directed by a crab. And I don't know, I'm not sure, but I also heard like a elementary school gym teacher whistle. And I that you know that you heard that too, because we were talking about it.
I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah, we heard that. Again, I really enjoyed this song. But I don't have a barometer of what the heck is playing or who is playing. So that's my interpretation of it. But,
Yeah.
very heady. I'm taking a job at Rolling Stones coming up. I don't know if you could tell.
I would totally read an article. You don't give yourself
Rolling
enough credit. Your
Did I-
classic rock knowledge is amazing.
Thank
You
you.
don't you don't pat yourself on the back enough. You really do know your stuff.
Oh, thanks, Alex. I appreciate that. I did just refer to the magazine as Rolling Stones, but thank you.
Well, that's if you have a pile of their magazines. You're being plural. You're writing
you,
more than one
Chris.
article.
Go
Thank
ahead,
you
Alex.
for supporting me.
Yeah, I really dig the instrumental. This is one of the times where I was really pointing out the drumming, because there's just this one point where the guy, I think it's Steve Gadd who's playing the drums on this, and just like there's just him and I think the saxophone player, like I can't do the drum impression, but like just like these crazy fills he's doing throughout the whole song just blew me away. What this song is about, I have no idea. Is it something in China that they're talking about, or does it like has to do with an actual person? I have no idea what they're talking about in this song. Going into this, I was like thinking like I gotta have an idea. I looked up the lyrics on a website, see what they were talking about. They put excerpts of what they said. And I was like, I still have no clue what they are talking about in this song.
Wait, I actually might know.
What?
Actually might know. Okay, so I'm not 100% certain, but when I was reading about this, I think it is about a Korean woman who married their best friend. That's what they said it was about, but they have no specifics of her at all. So I can't tell if they like her or they hate her guts based on this.
Yeah.
Because
It's ambiguous. Yeah, you don't know.
yeah. But they also hired oh gosh, I took a note and now I don't remember. They also hired a really famous Asian model. I will look this up and tell you in post. To be the model for the album, although of course you can't discern at all that it's a human being, but that's fine. It's like
Still really cool cover.
It is a very cool cover.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what we do for the thumbnail for this, because
Yeah.
but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah,
In
Greg,
post.
go ahead, man.
That way, so the sax solo, man, that's one of the best ever.
Mwah.
This song, I skipped like 40% of the time just because it's long, and the end is all prog rocky, kind of like getting there. But like, yeah, all the stuff inside is unimpeachable. The drumming is amazing. The content of the lyrics, again, I don't know what the heck they're talking about, but it, to me, sounds like a continuation of this outsider, excluded person, kind of like they're looking down on the dude ranch or whatever's going on, and they're like, they don't care. You know, they like me, so they say. It's all this kind of like self-doubt, and I kind of like that. I think that kind of like, again, this dark feeling, this like really sketched out narrative with very funny specifics like angular banjos, which has to be a band name.
Yeah.
That's like such a cool phrase.
I'm so mad at you because I literally wrote that in my notes, that exact same thing.
But this is like one I could definitely see people saying like, oh, this is soft rock. Like, at least for the first half, like, oh, this is very soft rock.
Right.
But then the outro is badass. What is this? Tarkus?
ELP. Yes.
No,
It took me a
no,
second. Yeah.
Yes. Vanessa and I still don't get it. So
Great
It's
album,
okay.
by the way. It's
But,
a good album. Good progress.
so this song. This was my favorite song on the album until like earlier this morning, and then I decided a different song was.
Sorry, Asia.
It's about as yacht rock as it gets, and
I didn't know yacht rock was a genre until we just
Yeah.
mentioned it, so I'm really glad that it's become a thing.
So because this album is so yacht rock, it's why I did this whole aesthetic. As Greg so eloquently put it, I look like the mad scientist from Jurassic Park. This is not cocaine. This is suntan lotion. But,
no, it's fine. You just look like the only white guide who took out the Trump kids to shoot a lion in Africa. That's what you look like.
Wow, that is a specific insult.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That was probably harsh. I should say we were doing this all before
Yeah.
the camera was rolling.
Matt-
So that wasn't the first. I didn't lead out of the gate with that. I'm
Matt,
sorry.
you look like a guy who invited himself to a group hangout at a Jimmy Buffett concert. When's he gonna
Get
play
one in?
Changes in Latitudes, man? That's my favorite tune.
Greg, do you have an insult for me?
Yeah, I do. You are the last crocodile hunter stripper.
Lovely.
Niche market.
Also, but back to this song. I love how it like. I love how eventually it feels like you're in a jazz club, and
Yeah.
I'm with Alex. The drumming is Italian Kiss. Mwah.
Yeah.
Also, the xylophone.
Mhm.
Yeah. All about xylophones on this. Yeah.
That's
makes
what
sense.
that was. It
That was
wasn't
the xylophone.
1,000 birds
Yeah.
chirping.
Yeah.
It could have been
So-
someone playing on skeleton bones like they do in cartoons sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, it could.
Yeah, but I gotta agree with our guest Goon. I definitely see that as a theme in the album, like the outsider's perspective, or like the uncool guy getting his chance, or like the fantasy of being out there, or like like the whole underdog feel. Now that you brought that up, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a theme in the album you see. So yeah, I just wanted to add that little tidbit.
Let's go on to my favorite song on the
Yes.
album, Deacon Blues. This song is specifically about a midlife crisis, but it has my favorite sort of instrumental motif on it, like the horns after the chorus. Like they're so good. I would let them peg me.
No, see, you know what? Okay, see,
Good night, everyone.
this is why
I
we
think
don't
that
have
was-
guests
that
on the
counted as your
show.
curse.
This is
That
why.
counted as your swear word for the episode. because
No, I have a
I
specific curse later.
truly
yeah.
cannot deal with that.
Yeah, but I love this song. It's amazing. Like I said, those horns just make me feel a certain way. Just wow.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm witnessing something that shouldn't be witnessed right now. You talking about those horns.
well, then give your thoughts, Vanessa.
Okay, yeah. So I really have never listened to any lyrics other than Dirty Work before, which again was pretty dark also for like a 12-year-old. But I had never listened to any lyrics by Steely Dan before listening to this album. And then I'm looking at the lyrics now, and I love where it says, like, learn to work the saxophone, and I play just what I feel. Okay, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then I never listened to past that. And it's like, drink Scotch whiskey all night long and die behind the wheel? How did we go down so fast? Like, we were learning to play the saxophone. We were playing what we felt, and then we die in a vicious car accident. Okay, and then
Also, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say random reference to Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, never.
I have no
listened-
idea what that means. Like,
Oh, it's their sports team. I know
College.
that. I know
Football.
something about sports. Nick Saban. He's
Yeah.
the coach. He was interviewed on 60 Minutes. That's why I know about it. Because again, I'm the most popular gal at the VFW.
we want to know about the Steely Dan song, all right? I've been asked about it my whole career.
Watch 60 Minutes. I watched CBS this morning. I'm all Sunday morning. I'm all about it. You give me a fun, cool narrative about a kid who plays chess, and I'm there. So
Vanessa's a 50-year-old woman in spirit.
Matt, that sounds like a tune you do.
That sounds like a tune. You goon.
Hey, Vanessa, you're you're 23 years old, but can you please act your age? You have so much life ahead of you, so stop aging, please. Vanessa, you're a 50-year-old woman in spirit, but you are a 23-year-old in practice. Genetics are the way things are. Please continue to stay young, please.
Sorry, that was me dying.
Yeah, that is
It
just
actually
like,
accelerated my age.
see,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
the power of music. It sounds really nice, but the context is of don't be into the things you're into. Act like all the other people around you. But-
Greg, I want to hear your opinion. I'm so sorry, Alex. I want to hear your opinion because we're just bitsing it up. So
Yeah.
I want to hear your opinion of the song.
Oh, I'm gonna bring it down.
Ooh.
In a good way. This is my favorite song on the album by a million, and like top 20 all time of everything. Absolutely love it. It's such a great groove. The horns are awesome. The solo by what's his name? Something Christlib. Whatever. The sax solo, that's the protagonist's sax solo in the song.
Wow.
It's awesome. But like what resonates with me in particular is buckle up. I've been doing comedy for a long time. This guy here is learning, he doesn't know how yet, to work the saxophone because he so desperately wants to be in that scene and to express himself in that scene. So, verse, like, what the third verse, I have it up here. This is for me the essence of true romance, sharing the things we know and love with those of my kind. Libations, sensations that stagger the mind. That is getting drunk after an improv show.
Yeah.
And hopefully not dying behind the wheel.
Yeah.
But that's totally, at least for me, I got some mental health stuff, so like I know that ratchet up, that performance high, and I know that other part. And like this song feels honest, and it also is funny and musically impeccable. As much as like I don't think you can get better than this one.
That's my one. Just wow, you kind of, as someone also who has mental health stuff, you really hit the nail on the head, Greg, with that. Just of wanting to learn this thing that you're passionate about, and the highs and lows of that. Just they're really good. I mean, they're good songwriters, but like the hooks they have for their choruses get stuck in your head. Like, I want to play the saxophone. That's not the right word, but just like but it just gets stuck in your head. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this just makes me want to listen to more Steely Dan. Honestly, these guys are so good at just writing music and composing it. Yeah. You can just hear the passion in the composition of their work.
Go ahead, Vanessa.
Oh, I think I already went, but that shows how deep my notes are. That shows how of an impression they made on you. But that's all right. That's all right. That's okay. I really enjoyed the song, and that's all I have to say about it. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Matt was too busy thinking about that frat bro hunting trip he went on.
Yeah, he was too busy thinking about his third divorcee trip to the California Baja section of Mexico. That's really fun. It's
hosted by the Baja Men.
Yes, thank you.
You know what? That was a great burn until I stuttered, okay?
Can I get one in?
Go ahead, Greg.
Yes.
He was too busy managing a rainforest cafe.
Oh man, that's a deep cut.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, guys, that's halfway through the album, so you know what that means.
Hello there. I am here to talk to you today about the possibility of donating to the arcade because they are a 401c3 organization and
That's non-profit!
yes, and they want to pay the rent so that way they can have a theater. So
Gotta have a space!
yes, there we go. Don't be a black cow. Give some moos.
Cows moo!
Aha! I had an idea. You could maybe give some money, eggs and buckies to the arcade so that way we can continue doing cool shows and maybe even not turn back into a peg kind of theater.
It had pornography!
Yes! Arcade really to me feels like home at last. And I got
Oh
the
my
news. The news is that theater organizations still need your help. That's right, we're not fully out of this, Panini. And we need someone named Josie to save the day.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
But no worries. We're not going to get any Deacon Blues because the arcade will be around for decades to come and we will continue making comedy for you.
Rerunning the years!
Yes. So do that dirty work and give us some money. Thank you.
Well, Vanessa, Greg, that had me reeling in the years as far as aging goes.
Yeah.
I feel like
You
I
used all the
started off
Steely
a little
Dan puns I
rocky
could
and
use.
No,
Yeah,
that was too against nature, that whole thing.
I feel like before we go any further, there's a question looming that I want to see if you guys can answer.
Ooh.
What is Steely Dan?
It's like some I don't know if this is true, but I heard it's like some sort of device that is used for certain acts among adults.
I actually read an article about this. I read
Oh.
the 40th anniversary of Aha. Spin did like a whole like article about it, and like apparently William Burroughs was asked about Steely Dan because Steely Dan is a reference from his novel Naked Lunch. It's like a dildo type of thing.
I was right.
Yeah.
I definitely thought it was those fun drums that you hear on vacation. I definitely
They
thought
love
that.
sandals.
Vanessa, those fun drums that you hear on a vacation, that sounds like a tune, you goon.
Okay. Okay.
That sounds like a tune. You goon.
Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. It's an instrumental, you guys, because this song is about drums. Okay, that was it. Because
Wow.
it's about drums.
Wow.
I figured a drum solo would be in order.
How do we never think of that? If we don't want to sing, we can just say it's an instrumental.
I just did think of it because I'm absolutely terrible at that bit we do. So
But guys, everybody, you know who would love that bit?
who?
Probably a woman named Peg, which is
Oh,
the
nice.
name of the next song that we are going to talk about on this album.
Yes.
This song is the one story I heard behind this song is that like it took like 7 or 8 guitar players to nail the solo on it,
Yeah.
and I like the song. It's got a really great groove, and I guess it's about this actress who killed herself by jumping off the H on the Hollywood sign.
Oh, this is about her?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that would explain a lot. Okay.
Wow.
So, do you guys know that it's like a really famous story? She kind of was not famous. They said she was going to get her big break. This was like the 20s or 30s, and she
32
jumped
is when
off.
yeah.
And she
Wow.
jumped up. There was a show called Hollywood that that debuted on Netflix last year, and they did a whole thing about it. That show is not suitable for children or work, but it's a really good show. But they talk a lot about. I think her name was Peg Entwistle.
Okay.
You know what? That probably was not her name, but that's what's sticking out in my brain.
What are your notes, Vanessa?
There were no. Okay. What were my notes? Why don't we come back to me, because I'm trying to decipher what I wrote here. And
Okay, Alex, go ahead.
I had no idea about that story. I kind of felt like it was about this woman like going after her dreams of being an actress or like a model, and it's maybe like told through an outsider's perspective, because he does say like, I have your pin shot. I keep it in my what's the lyric? I keep it with your letter. And also, fun fact, I feel like everyone here knows about it, but Michael McDonald has backing vocals on this song.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, because you hear it. Because I saw a little clip of the classic albums episode of this, and it's Don and Walter like at the mixing board, and Donald jokingly goes like, let's just have the vocals so we can embarrass Michael. And just to hear Michael alone going, and it sounds great. Michael McDonald is a good singer. And that's another band. Like Doobie Brothers is another band that gets made fun of a lot. Because they're like kind of like, especially when Michael McDonald came on. I've never listened to him, but going back to what I said in the first song.
It's him. That's the connecting factor. People were like, Michael McDonald, boo, boo.
Ruined the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Black Water is one of my favorite songs of all time. So like by the Doobie Brothers. Go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, Alex. Finish up.
I just really like the groove. Like, it starts off with like I want to say it's a synthesizer and just the cymbals, and then just goes just with this really great jazz beat. Mm-hmm. Just and just like the horns and the drums coming together. It just a music fan. I feel like this is gonna be a big leap, because a lot of people don't like it and sometimes I'm not a big fan of when people go like, you have to listen to this album if you love music. But if you're really into like composition stuff, just the way they had these instruments really feed off each other, just with this beat in the horn section, it's just fantastic. It's great. Just the music alone, it just really kept my attention. I just really liked how the groove went with the whole song. But yeah, Greg, what do you think of this song?
Yeah, the groove on this is incredible. The bass is out of control. Like the rhythm section on this, if everything feels really tight, there are like 3 keyboard sounds going on at once. It almost sounds like a Stevie Wonder track, kind of.
Yeah.
It feels like in that world, and then like that Michael McDonald like harmony. That's the differentiator that I think takes this song from like a pretty good song to like a great song, because that harmony is so oddly, it's in tune, but it has some kind of like, I don't know, grittiness. It almost sounds like a chord that you would hear like outside of like regular tuning, like almost like it's like a jazzy barber shop.
Yeah,
like
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
It's so, it pops out in like in such a cool way. And like I was listening to this, I'm like, you know what, I need to listen to Nights on Broadway by the Bee Gees right after this, because I love the harmonies going into the chorus of Nights on Broadway. But like I listened to that and it's gorgeous, but it's very much like stacked notes. It felt pretty but safe, Well, this thing felt more experimental, and it just made it so interesting to listen to. It made that chorus like a powerhouse. So like that's it. I love that. This is the closest they have to like just a pop tune that's worth anything on this album.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
Vanessa,
really...
who else went? Did
Oh,
everyone go?
I did not go.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I had to. So what I like to do is, I have like the worst memory ever. So I like to sit down and like listen to it during our little break. And then I got distracted by I Got the News. So I went back to Peg, and I have no notes to add other than what Alex said with the ba-ba-na-na-na, da-da-na-na-na. I just think that that's like that. I think is the most memorable part of this album. Like that, I don't even know what you would call that.
That motif right there, yeah.
Yes, that I feel like that's what it's like I can't even tell what it is, but I like it. It's great. I'm a huge fan of this song. Now knowing it's about Peg from the Hollywood sign makes me really sad. And of course it plays into like the this really sad outsider but a fun groove tune thing that they've got going. She was the ultimate, she like died because she loved what she did and she wasn't recognized for it, which really sucks. And now all we remember her for is this terrible way of dying. So weird. What are your thoughts?
Let's I think everyone went, right? Yeah,
okay.
I think so let's go on to Home at Last.
Home at Last. Oh, Greg, do you
already had
first?
your song, Vanessa.
Yeah, do you want to go first?
What
Go ahead, Greg.
What am I doing?
Going first.
Yeah, tell us what you think.
You had to pick this one.
I'm sorry.
Sounds like a Royal Scam song. Like, kind of felt out of place for me. This is where side B of this album starts having problems, where it's like recycling part of the ideas that came earlier. Like, the drum beat for here is another patented Purdy shuffle. Like, the Deacon Blues drum work. It's almost the same. It's like the same groove. Yeah. And it's like, I heard that, and this one is like this riff on the Odyssey. Like, this just didn't do anything for me. It's like 7 minutes long. Walter Becker does a solo, and I don't think he's a particularly good soloist.
Wow.
So when we get to the bridge, the horns sound like a bunch of kazoos.
Hey, Greg, the horns sound like a bunch of kazoos. That sounds like a tune you do.
That sounds like a tune you goon.
Listen up, people. Let me tell you about the word of the Lord. You gotta make those horns sound like kazoos. You gotta make those horns sound like kazoos. If you got one thing you gotta do, you gotta make those horns sound like kazoos. Everybody now, horns like kazoos. Horns like kazoos. Horns like kazoos. Horns like kazoos.
That was the best one we've ever had on our show.
Amazing.
How did you just have that ready? You had it at the go.
It's been here the whole time.
Wow.
You were on our show one episode. You were more prepared than we have ever been. I love it.
He's the constant professional. Yeah.
Good luck topping that, the next person that goes.
Okay, well, I will follow it up because I have similar notes, and I feel terrible that was the one that I was like, you go first. I didn't realize that was one you hated. Okay, so I felt, first of all, I have something to say about recycling things. They made it. Why can't they, they went to all that hard work on that drumming. Why can't they do it a little bit more? What's wrong with that? They might have had a different melody to go with that drumming. I write the same setup for 50 punches. I mean, people don't like it, but, you gotta try it out. How can why can't you try it out? I also wrote, you might like this though. I said it kind of feels like Randy Newman and James Brown had a baby.
Wow.
Like I couldn't tell.
Oh my God.
But early James Brown, like James Brown when he was still singing "Try Me," you know, when he had like his hair that went like
60s,
this.
Yeah.
60s James Brown.
No, like late 50s James
Like the
Brown.
Flames.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the vibe I'm getting. And also, what was that? Piano? Was it synth? Was it horns? Was it the horns on a child's piano, like the horn setting? Because I can't tell what that sound was. I don't know what it did sound like. Kazoos. I'm not even sure what instrument that was. It sounded like me pretending to be practicing my kid's piano. It was weird. It was weird, but I still liked it kind of. Anyway, Alex, what do you think?
wow. Now that we're, I'm just going to keep with theme. I'm going to follow my teammates, support my my fellow goons, and say, I don't really have much to say about this. I like the beat, and I do agree. Like, sometimes you can recycle a thing. You can do the same beat. I kind of get what Greg's coming from. I've never read the Odyssey. I would like to get into philosophy, but, who knows when I'm going to read the Odyssey, so I'm just going to take Steely Dan's word for it. Just trust that they know it. So maybe that's not the best thing to do. So do your own research, everybody. Here's some advice. Do your own research. You hear someone talk about it, you go like, wow, that's really great. Then you go read the Odyssey and say like, oh, where did they pick from the Odyssey? So, you can think someone's smart, but also read up on it on yourself if you're really interested. This has been Alex's Learning Corner, everybody. So this is, but it's just okay. I do like the bluesy kind of beat that goes with it, but other than that, it's just, most of my critiques and praise about this is just the music, reading the lyrics, like between listening to it, I find it really cool, but just, it's just is what it is. It's fine. Nothing to praise about. So,
I like this song.
Did you hear Greg's song? The kazoo horn sound like kazoo.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with the kazoo? What's wrong with the kazoo?
Yeah. Kazoos are great.
I like this song. I actually like. I didn't catch the Odyssey sort of, but now it makes sense to me. I just sort of thought that it was more about like weathering your way through troubled times while using the analogy of being on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yacht rock.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yacht rock. But the last minute of this song is mixed so beautifully. Like you could hear all the layers of instruments like towards the end of the song, and like I got a real kick out of it. Like I just so like I liked it. Sorry guys.
Like what you like. Like what you
It's
like.
okay. You can like what you like.
Yeah.
Don't
like
follow the crowd,
No.
Oh, except for this next song.
Hey Alex, that sounds like a tune, you goon.
Oh.
Don't follow the crowd.
Sounds like a tune. You goon.
There's a crowd over there. Don't follow them because it could be leading you to something dangerous. They like fighting people, but you don't have to like it if you don't feel good about it. Don't follow the crowd. You over there. Why are you following them? Do you agree with them? Let's put the spotlight on you. Why are you following the crowd? Just like what you like. You can't watch all of the TV shows. You can't see all of the movies. Not everyone will like Marvel or Pixar or I'm not singing. I should be singing. You can't like everything. Like what you like. If it doesn't hurt anyone, you don't have to like all the popular things. Like what you like. You're not reading Harry Potter, but you want to read something really serious and sad. You can do that. You don't listen to Ariana Grande, but you like Yo-Yo Ma. Listen to Yo-Yo Ma.
Okay.
Like what you like.
That That is
Wow.
the new
Pretty amazing.
Karate Kid intro. You know,
Right.
don't follow the fighting crowd. I like
Yeah.
it.
That was going in directions I wasn't sure what was.
I couldn't
Do
think
we
of like
want
a.
to?
I couldn't think of like an obscure author. Yeah, I couldn't think of. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay. John Grisham comes to mind.
R.L. Stein.
R.L.
He's
Stein.
not-
Yeah.
He's not obscure at all.
Christopher
No,
Pike.
we're not naming obscure.
Yeah, Stephen King. Yeah.
Stephen
Like,
King. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's
see?
heard of that guy.
Richard Bachman.
J.R. Salinger.
That will
J.D.
be
Salinger.
Salinger. J.D. Salinger.
J.R.
We did the
Let's-
same jokes. That's great.
Yes, it's good.
good.
Let's go to I Got the News.
Okay. Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. I don't know how we got here, but it sounds like roll with me. We're in a kids movie. We are in a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie with an adult villain, and we are escaping something. I'm thinking like maybe I'm in a maze with the Riddler. That's the vibe that I'm getting from this song, and no one can tell me otherwise, and I cannot explain further. It feels very anxious and like anxiety-inducing, but at the same time, there's moments of quiet calmness in the storm. It's like I'm experiencing Twister. I am Helen Hunt. I am going through this song, chasing the dream of the tornado, but every once in a while I'm in the calm, and that's how this song feels to me, and I will not explain further, okay?
So, did you have one of talking about when you heard this song?
Did I have what?
Did you have one of your brownies when you?
No,
when
I
you
did
were-
not. I did not. This was just me, like, listening to it, being like, this is so... Like, listen to it, and you can totally hear yourself being in a maze but you're a kid, you are Mary-Kate and Ashley, and there is someone who's tricking you.
That was a
Like,
Riddler.
and you're like, where do I go?
Is this
That's
Jim
how I-
Carrey Riddler? Or is
Twister.
this...
Yeah, that's Jim Carrey Riddler. Please tell me someone else hears this, or am I
I
crazy?
can kind of see it. I just went back and listened to it a little bit while you were talking. I was listening to what you were saying while I was listening to the song, so I was multitasking the Steely Dan way. But I was... I kind of see it now that you brought it up. I was like listening to the boom, 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 and I was like, I can kind of picture like kids, like a Scooby-Doo gang, going like,
Yes!
like a montage of them like running through the other doors and like them leading to outside the other doors or something.
Yes, it's the bump, 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 and like that part
Yeah.
is when I'm like, what is happening? Where's the villain? Like, where's the disguise? So I'm glad you hear it. Okay, someone please take the baton.
Go ahead,
Greg.
Alex. What's up?
I mean, I like the music to it, but yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. I mean, like it sounds catchy, but that's it.
I'll go
I
next.
want to hear what Greg has to say.
Okay. Well,
No,
go ahead,
I'm
Greg.
gonna say something. So Matt, you better go. I think. That
Okay.
he's
All right.
smarter.
I love the drumming on this.
Yeah.
Like the drumming on this song is mwah, Italian kiss. Is Michael McDonald doing another backing vocal on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah. I thought so. There's a great jazzy guitar solo, and this felt like the most like jazzy. And there's been moments on this album where it's like, wow, that's jazz. But like the end of this really sounds like, yeah, whoa, that's jazz. Whoa, like seriously, man. But like,
Whoa!
Did we already
Was that
do
jazz?
Yeah, is there
Yes.
enough songs to make you do "Whoa, that's jazz"?
Wait, did
I'll
you
do
already
another
do
one if you want.
Oh no, it's okay.
Save it for.
we'll save it for another
We'll
day.
just work. Wow, that's so jazz into every show until we pick
And
out.
all that jazz. All right, go ahead, Greg.
Okay, we want to hear this.
Okay. So we're allowed one swear word.
Yeah.
Can I borrow someone's?
I said DAMN.
Yeah, we're each allowed to use one.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if I can borrow one.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
Yeah, you can borrow mine.
Thank
yes.
you. This song sucks. I hate it. Does nothing for me. That plank, like my notes are the words plank, 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 plunk, da da da, bo 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 bo. It does nothing for me. It has this like what feels almost tacked on disco rhythm, which doesn't serve it. The lyrics are garbage because the
they are. They're
verses
terrible.
are about a blackmail scheme, and the choruses are horny and corny, or as I call, corny. They are gross. They're just like the gross type of horny lyrics. And we get the wall of McDonald's again, which is good, but it was better before. It just this one I just pass. Like I always forget this is on the album. Like,
oh really?
It's just like
do you immediately press
Jarring,
skip?
right? It's jarring. I'm not the only person who feels this way.
Yeah, and also like I feel like they did another like Odyssey type of reference, like sirens. Apparently, they're like the mermaids that like sung and like seduced.
That's in Home at Last, right? Or
No,
is
it's in these lyrics. I got the news.
I
Apparently,
love
it's like
when
a
it
reference
says,
to their groupies. So yeah,
Daddy is a rare millionaire. That's one of the lyrics.
Listen, like, can't you see our love will grow gross? Slow down, I'll tell you when. I may never walk again. This is gross. This is. If you heard your dad singing along to this, you'd move out.
Yeah. Your dad would be like, "Hey, get it?"
I hope not.
Yeah, he's like, "Okay." Yeah.
Ew. Maybe guys have a different relationship with their dads. Because I would, like, my dad would, I feel uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
Not good.
Read the room.
Spanish
Don't...
kissing. Spanish kissing. I'm not even sure what that is.
Ew.
But it
What
sounds
does that even
fun.
mean? Alrighty. But you know what? We're in this funk. We're down because we got the news. But you know what? Let's change it up with the last song, which I personally think is great. Number 7, the last one, Josie. Mm-hmm. And this was a song I was talking about that got played at, like, my brother played at that recital for guitar class. I so dig this groove. And, like, Chuck Rainey, the bass player, he was told not to slap. And there's, like, the story of, like, he turned away from the band and just started slapping on it, and they were like, "Oh wow, we really dig it." Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is pure funk, and I don't know who the heck Josie is, but apparently she's a great lady. Maybe it's someone that they know.
Maybe it's their friend. It's their friend's wife.
That could be it. Do you know something I don't know?
No, remember I told you earlier? Glad to know that everything I've been saying is really sticking.
We got you, Asia.
Okay.
Asia.
Yeah. Maybe this is the song that says we like her. Maybe this is it.
All we needed was a name change, I guess. And no.
Josie's better. No, but but I really just like this groove, and then like the chorus is really like chill. Like, this woman is the coolest person you'll ever meet. She is the pride of the neighborhood, you know. And then like it just immediately just goes bam and boom, bam, bam. Yeah, this would just be such a fun song to jam out to with friends. Like I could just picture, for some reason, just me with a group of people just like jamming out to this. And it's just a fun jam, in my opinion. Well, Greg, what do you think of this song?
I also think it's a killer end song. It's more like just a straight rock and roll type song.
Yeah.
And it has that killer hook at the beginning and the middle. Like, it's angular, and like that's the thing to me feels like less like Western and more like Eastern scale stuff. Like, it's finally from the name. I love it. And this one, I'll leave it at this. I like Steely Dan a lot, but I think Steely Dan works best if you put all of Steely Dan in like sci-fi or horror world that these people live in. Because to me, this Josie song is kind of like has this bass tone of like menace almost, and like I always feel like, oh, Josie's a cult leader. This also works for Chain Lightning, totally a cult song. And given that like Donald and Walter they're huge nerds. They're just the biggest nerds in the world. They made up the phrase battle apple. What's a battle apple? It sounds like something from, I don't have a good answer to that. I don't know, Applejack.
Like if Johnny...
Just edit that out. Can you
it's
edit
like
that out?
It's like if Johnny Appleseed had a weapon of some sort.
Yeah.
Or like
battle
Monty
apple.
Python and the Holy Grail, like, I'm gonna throw my battle apple at you. Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
You want to get in on this, Vanessa?
Yeah.
What is a
So
battle
a
apple
battle
to you?
A battle apple is something that you it's really what you give your sworn enemy when you are an evil witch.
Oh, that's good.
That's
Yeah.
what you do. You give a battle apple, very
Ooh.
Snow White-esque.
Maybe it's Chris Martin, Gwyneth Paltrow's child that's training to be an MMA fighter.
I like
Look
it.
at my son. He's beating up that guy.
Hi.
I guess in conclusion, like, yeah, I like this song. This is a nice little rocker. Great way to end the album.
I'll go next. This song felt to me like the most urgent song on the album, if that makes any sense.
Oh.
Like, I didn't feel like it felt like this was the one song that was taking itself seriously. If that, I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, it did have, like you talked about on the last song about a disco groove. I thought that there was a disco groove on this, but I loved. My favorite thing about this song is the synthesizer underneath the chorus, just very satisfying, yeah, I agree with everyone with what they said so far. It's a great closer.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
So I agree, great closer, very fun. But because this is a show with jokes, I will make fun of it. I think that the beginning of this sounds like the beginning of every modern rock musical written for teenagers. If you listen to songs from Heathers, this is giving me very Heathers energy. Heathers the musical,
Wow.
not the movie with Winona Ryder. I'm talking the musical.
Great movie, by the
I'm
way.
seeing 14-year-olds in leather jackets. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of guy liner. I like to give energy whenever I hear a song. I don't know what is happening. I just like to give the essence of it, and that is my essence of this song.
I like what you're saying because, like, I can picture, like, with the chorus, like, when Josie comes home, like, it's like the group of, like, bad girls or women in the high school, and they're coming out of, like, their rich dad's car or something, or, like, the head evil one's car.
Yes,
In slow motion,
yes.
and, like, wiping their hair away.
Yes,
Go ahead,
that's
Vanessa.
the energy.
Mhm.
That's the energy. But also I'm getting the kids who are like not cool, but they're really trying. It's fun. I think it's fun. It's upbeat. It's up dark. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Yeah,
ooh, mysterious, but I haven't had real trauma yet, so I'm still happy. You know, like, but I'm angsty. I would say it is the most angsty song on the album, but I really love it. I think, is it all right if I give my final thoughts?
Go right ahead let's give our
Okay.
final thoughts on the album as a whole.
Yeah, so final thoughts. As a whole, I think Steely Dan is great. If you love a Max and Irma's kitchen sink burger, you're gonna love Steely Dan. Okay? It is so good, but also indescribable. You can't quite pinpoint where you know it from, but you've had it before, and you're like, okay. But it's really like you have to be in the mood for it, but like it's perfect you've never heard anything like it. I feel like there's few bands that really have a distinct sound. To me, The Doors are one, Harry Nilsson's one, Elvis is one, and I think Steely Dan is another one, that they have such a distinct sound that you can pick it out anywhere. So I think this is a really great intro into them, and if you want to go like deeper, they have other stuff too, but this is a great place to start with Steely Dan. I would give it 4 out of 5, only 4 because I didn't like I Got the News. 4 out of 5 funk fusion glasses.
Nice.
You would know what that was if you saw them in person. They all wear weird glasses.
All right. I'll go next. Long story short, this album is amazing. The musicianship is completely on point, and it's really thrilling to hear these jazz chords on an album that we've reviewed. There's definitely a vibe of a jazz club that's on a yacht in the middle of the ocean. Everybody's wearing flip-flops, but also smoking stogies and having like one drink that's like a scotch, and then their next drink is a pina colada.
Wow.
It's completely understandable why so many.
Are you describing your dream vacation in that outfit? Are you?
Well, I'll tell you what. It doesn't sound so bad to me. Just saying.
I'm just saying wow because that's a weird transition between drinks.
Your stomach's gonna pay the price.
Oh yeah.
But what was I saying here? It's completely understandable why so many of these songs have been sampled by hip hop artists. These instrumentals went perfectly with like melodic flow on top of it. This is actually one of the rare albums that I've heard where like you can kind of like rock to it, but also like chill vibe to it. You know, like it's got a nice juxtaposition like that. But I highly recommend it. Like if you love great musicianship, Steely Dan is amazing. So I'll give it 4 1/4 layers of sunscreen out of 5.
Wow. I will go next because our guest Goon should be last because this was his pick. This again, like I've talked about when we did Funkadelic, this just makes me want to listen to more Steely Dan. The musicianship on this is incredible. You can tell that they are complete nerds for music, which I totally appreciate. Because if you love something, you should embrace it. Don't be like, we're still in like a too cool for school society, which annoys me. So like, if you like something, like it, and geek out over it and talk about it with people. And I could tell these guys are genuinely passionate music nerds, and they wanted to incorporate that into the band that they had, which I found really cool. And this album was not easy. They fired everybody, and they had a lot of musicians play on it, but they knew what they wanted. So I gotta say, I really dig what they did here, and I'm excited to check them out more. So I am gonna give this 4 out of 5 geeky conversations with Donald and the dearly departed Walter Becker's ghost.
Oh my god!
I didn't mean that in a mean way. I know I didn't mean that like in a jerk.
Do you want to talk to his ghost? That's completely fine by us.
Okay. All right.
Greg.
Okay, I guess 2 things. First, Steely Dan is a band where I think people go through a couple phases when they actually start listening to it. And I think you should start listening to it. Just listen to a couple of the albums, like Katie Lied, and then maybe Pretzel Logic, and just follow it chronologically up to Gaucho, then stop. But when you listen to them, at first they sound lyrically insufferable. Sound like real pretentious jazz bug weirdos. And then you get to a point where you realize, oh, they're doing that on purpose. That's the joke. That's the thing. Like, they're funny, and they know how to be funny and to make turns of phrase work in a song, which is often very difficult. Like, that's really good. Mm-hmm. And then you keep listening to it, and you get to a phase where you're like, yeah, but they're still kind of pretentious jerks. But that's fine, because the things they actually put together are awesome. Now, specifically with Asia, everyone talks about the production. And yeah, I think so. The cover, if you've seen it, it's all black. You kind of see a person's nose, but that's it. In my head, every track, except maybe the news, whatever, and a little bit of coming back home or whatever, in my brain, it is something painted on black. Everything is precise, and it comes out from a black background. It's crisp, and it's unlike any album I've ever heard since. It is its own experience, and that, like, for the curiosity alone, sit down and really listen to how this one sounds. And this sounds so much like I'm trying to sell you a stereo. It's not that. It really is a unique album. So I think everyone that enjoys musicality and recording and engineering and finishing, it's like there's nothing like it. It's like it's not like anything else. It's that. News sucks. Sorry. So I'm gonna give it like
it's okay. You can have
4
all.
or 5.
It's okay. You're a guest. You can do whatever.
Yeah, you can have our swears. It's fine.
Sorry. I give it a 4 out of 5 white guys.
We're all thinking it.
We're all thinking it. This is white music for sure. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, before we go, once again, please consider donate to the Arcade Comedy Theater. Opening up soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Please get vaccinated. Greg, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you. You did amazing. And I hope.
It was so fun. Your pick was so fun. I'm sorry, Matt. And
no, go ahead, Vanessa.
We were all super excited that you won this and that we would get to talk to you and hear about your taste in music.
This was so much fun. Thank you, guys. Sorry about probably my too loud keyboard. Disembodied voice.
It sounds disembodied voice. Are we going to be okay with that?
You didn't leave me keyboard.
That's it.
All right. Well, I don't think there's any other way to put it. Steely Dan, yay, good for them. And this has been Talking Tunes with the
Are you talking all the tunes? Talking about the tunes. Are we gonna put your ears? And then we'll talk about the tunes.